Hi everybody, it's Lisa. Look, I'm doing something a little different today. So we are going to work on beaded dangles, and I had a request a while back when I asked viewers for their things that they'd like to see on my channel. I had a request to do beaded dangles from Pamela. And Pamela, I'm hoping that I'm hitting what you were looking for in the topic, because as I thought about it, there's different ways you could look at that. So beaded dangles to me are things that hang from the pages or tabs or the embellishments within a journal. To me, in a separate category, but what some people may use the same terminology for, is there's the whole thing about tassels and charms that hang usually from the spine of a journal. So that to me is different, and that could be a whole nother video. But what we're going to work on today are beaded dangles, some fairly easy ones that, here I am trying to find the camera again, that you could hang easily on a tab or on embellishments in your journal. And these are usually quite a bit smaller than the chunky tassels that you often see in on a spine on the exterior of a journal. So that's how I'm differentiating that. But Pamela, if you watch this and if you're hoping to see how to make the beaded charms that hang on the exterior, those are usually, I should have pulled one out and had it with me, but usually those use larger beads and hang in several strands from the exterior of a journal. So we're just working on this today. And if you want to go that step later on, this actually is a good first step before jumping into doing the larger tassel-like charms. All right, enough of terminology. How do we get started on this, and what are some of the things that you would need? The basic things that you really should have are some kind of wire cutters. There are bigger ones than this. You can get these at any craft store basically that sells jewelry, beads, and things like that. These are just, I don't remember how, I've had these for so long. I don't remember what price range they run in, but use a coupon to get these wire cutters. You will need that. What else will we need? I like using these. I should hold these closer for you. Here's the cutters. It's just a small wire cutter that fits nice in the hand. And this one just has this flat edge, and I use this oftentimes to either hang on to something or to kind of close it together. This type of, again, I'm not a jewelry maker, so I don't know the names of these. Let's see. The first one I showed you, this one is called a side cutter. And, hold on here. And, no, we don't want that one. The other one, does it even give a name? Doesn't even give a name. Oh, this is called a round nose pliers. And you'll see in a minute why we need to have this. So I would say just these three are the three that you will find helpful. If you were to eliminate one, I would eliminate this flat one. You can get away with using this one perhaps instead of it. So that's enough to get you started as far as like equipment. I have this bead board that I put down just because I'm klutzy. And for me to hang on to some of these little beads that we'll be using, I'm an accident waiting to happen and they're going to roll all over the floor. This is just a board that I I can sit and do it with this on my lap in front of the television and not worry about beads flying everywhere. And then, of course, you're going to need some beads. For this particular project, I tend to use beads that are more along the seed bead side with just smaller holes to get you started. And again, you'll see in a minute. See, there, I just dropped one. Told you. Are these beads here the round ones I like using? And then going up to this size of bead. What would be another example? These. All right, everybody, it's take 2 of the second portion of the video. I don't know what happened. It when I went to edit it, it went really slow and made my voice sound really weird. So let's just try this again. So in addition to the board, the other thing that I recommend is getting, let's see, this one first, just a small kit. This is if you're just starting out. Get a small kit of some basic beads just to get you started. It's got the little ones in here. It's got a size that's a little bigger and some other things to make your project a little interesting just to get you going rather than going out and spending a bunch of money on a bunch of beads. The other thing that you're going to want in addition to that is some findings. I happen to have this other kit. You won't need all these pieces. You just need these, I can never remember what these things are called. They're little eyes. Let's see, I've got it right here. They're called eye pins. So one end has an eye, the other one is just straight. Well, it's supposed to be straight. I've bent that one. Let's see. The other thing you will need or could use, you can use the eye pins and or you can use the head pins. These have just like a sewing pin head, not a needle, pin like that. Okay. And then you'll need some jump rings. Okay. So those are the basics to get you started. Now, what we're going to make first is these charms. Let's pretend this is our piece of paper of a signature. They just go on a page like this, and it gets obviously glued onto the page. This idea I got from, I think it's G. Kerr, and I love this idea. And you can take this same idea, and I've used this in a number of different ways. We'll chat about that in a second, but let's go ahead and make one of these. Here's some other ideas of some pieces. But just play with your beads and have fun with it. So here's how we do it. You'll first take either a head pin or an eye pin. In this case, just going to use this because it's what I grabbed first. It's the head pin. And then pick up a small bead with a hole small enough that the head pin, it won't go over the head. In my experience in working with these are just inexpensive beads. The heads of the heads. The hole of the bead isn't consistent bead to bead. So you're going to want a smaller hole so that your bead doesn't come off the end of that. I like to put one of those on the end, and then I usually like to put one a little bit larger above that. You could go with something a little bigger like that, and then let's put this one on. That's kind of fun. And then I'll go again and put one of these. This is getting a little on the long side, so that's about all I do. And then I'll put another one of these. So that's cute. Then what you'll want to do is take either your flat pliers, because I don't know what to call that, or your round nose pliers, and you're going to want to go just at the top of that top bead, and you're going to bend it 90 degrees. So you end up with that. Okay? Then you're going to take this, and I kind of cheat. You don't want to go toward the very top of the round nose, because you're going to get a round or big loop. The further you get to the narrower tip, the smaller the hole will be, or the eye will be. Maybe that's a better way to say it. And I just bend this around like so, and then I take it and I bend it around like that. Now this is probably not the best or most proper way of doing this. If you talk to somebody who makes jewelry, I'm not a jewelry maker, I'm making charms. So then I just wrap this around right above that bead again, just to finish it off and give it a bit of a little decorative finish. And then where I have that end piece sticking off, I snip it off with my wire cutters. And then sometimes that end pokes out, and in case it's a little sharp, here's where I like to use the flat ones, but in case you don't have that, the round ones can work also. It's just a little, sometimes a little more difficult to get in there. And then I just want to kind of smush it down in there so that it doesn't scratch somebody, that kind of. So there is our charm. Now, what does this hang off of? Let's make one of those. So I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper, and I think I'll just use this piece right here. And then I'll just, I want it folded out so you can see the coffee dye pattern, because that's kind of fun. Fold it in half, and then in the middle of the folded side, you want to take your scissors and make a very, 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 very small hole there. And I don't know if the camera's going to pick the, oh yeah, you can see that little hole. It's just tiny. And then you'll need some beading wire. I don't take much of it. I just pull it back. This beading wire is 24 gauge. You can get whatever color you want. I'm never that picky. I like a variety of colors, and then it's fewer supplies that I have to have. I tend to kind of fold this in half. Get my round nose in there. And then I cross that over like so. Does that make sense? Can you see that? All right, so it's kind of wrapped around there. And then I pull that off. Again, you can use this or the flat ones. I'll use this. I don't want people to think they got to go out and get stuff they maybe don't need. And then I just twist this, kind of like a twist tie. All right, I'm just going to straighten this up a bit, like so. So this is what I've got. I take our folded piece of paper, and I'm going to take that eye and stick that right through that hole. And then I'm going to take, where is it? I used my Fabri-Tac for this. You can use E3000, whatever works for you. I just wouldn't use a light Elmer's kind of glue. I don't know that it would really hold that metal down there well. And I go up on top of it just once. This is if you are not putting it onto the journal right away, which I'm not doing. I'm kind of working ahead of my next project. Ooh, I almost tipped over my Fabri-Tac. And then I just fold it kind of hold it in place a little bit so that stays in there. And then on your charm, you will need a jump ring. See if my fumbly fingers can grab one. How on earth do jewelers have the patience to work with the itty bitty things they do? This time I grabbed a smaller jump ring. If you're uncomfortable working with things that are that itty bitty, this one's pretty small. Okay, I just put the charm on the jump ring, and then I put our little tab on there, and I'm going to close up the opening of the jump ring. Here's where I like these little pliers, because I just make sure it's tight. Okay. And now we have our lovely little, as G calls it, a dingle dangle. Or I think Liz from Mrs. Coggs, she calls them drippings on her journals. I just call them jewelry. So that's how you make that. But these get a little addicting. You can sit down in front of the television and knock out quite a few of them. So that's one way. Now you can also use your charms in a number of other ways. You can hang these from, if you use a whale tail tab, you can put an eyelet in there and hang these from that. You can hang them, where did I put them? Oh, hang them from bulb pins. These are just inexpensive ones that I got, I think, off Amazon. Much cheaper than the Tim Holtz stuff. Not that I have anything against Tim Holtz. I love me some Tim Holtz, but there you go. Isn't that cute? Love it. I love the colors of that bead. So that's another way. You can do it with the bulb pin. You can use one of these. These, I don't know what they're called. These I call Tim Holtz pins. But they can hang like that. These are really cute, hanging off of like a heavier lace tab, or pin it to lace on a journal pocket. What else do I have here? Oh, these bull nose clips. You can open the jump ring and hang it from the bull nose clip as well. So there's all kinds of things that you can do with these. It's just totally up to what supplies you have and your imagination. So that's one option for charms, and that's just a very beginner's way to get started in the things that you might want to get. If you don't want to buy a whole findings kit, you can just buy a package of these eye pins and head pins, and they come in all sorts of colors, and then you would just need the jump rings. You don't have to buy the whole kit if you don't want to do that. But I do find for beginners that this kind of a box of beads is fairly inexpensive to get you going. So that's that portion. Now, here's another way to make charms. These are just some little, I haven't punched the eyelet in this one yet, but these are just some charms that I have made from using round paper punches as a base, and then you can decorate them using whatever you have for craft supplies. So if you have acrylic paints, if you have watercolor paint, if you want to use itty bitty scraps, like I keep a little bag of these kinds of little itty bitty scraps to embellish with, and just put some words and things on them. I think these are really fun. So let's do something along these lines. These punches I happen to punch out of a master board. That's all it is. I collaged up a master board and punched a bunch of holes in part of it. I'm just going to ink around the outside. That's what I'm feeling like doing. And I had out, where did it go? My metallic wax. Love this stuff. Love, 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 love. Oh, there went my phone. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had the sound off. Maybe one of my boys. So I'm just going to put a little metallic wax on there. And pardon me because I can't stand to have dirty hands, and I gotta wipe that off. I can't take it. Let's make sure that's closed. And then let's see, what can we put on there? What do I want to? Let's get out my ephemera book and see what catches my fancy here. We could cut off part of a washi flower. That'd be cute. I don't know if I want that in this particular one, but that's a thought. What else have I got floating around in here? Oh, look at this little guy. He might be fun. You can use words. Oh my gosh, I really like him. He's just kind of cute, isn't he? And it doesn't take much. Let's use him. He's calling for that to be his home. Yep. So cute. And I don't have my words. Or do I have my words? Hold on. Hold on. Here's my Tim Holtz little words and things. See if I can find something that goes on there nicely. This one just says life. How will this look? I like that a lot. Now where do I want to put it? Like right there. Okay, come here. Where's my art glitter glue? Or maybe, yeah, we'll put him there. Why it's a him, I don't know. Okay. Oh, goodness. That's cute. I mean, you could do more. We could use little paper scraps on here. But I think for this one, that's all we need. And then we can take an eyelet. You love how I reuse my prescription bottles. I think, yeah, I'm going to use this little copper looking one. All right, we're going to be brave and get out the crocodile here. Excuse me. So this is a 1/8 size, so I need to punch the hole first. Okay. Hole punched. My husband's talking on the phone now. It must have been our son, and now, oh, I'm sorry if I'm off camera. First I just punched the hole, and now the size that I have in here for the 1/8 is it's the what? Is the B4. I think that's right. Half the time I guess, and I don't do this properly. Oh, Lisa, Michelle, I need to slide that forward. Squish it. And there we have this adorable little paper charm. And if you can hang it certainly by itself, or you can hang it with something else along with it. You could couple it with, oh, look it. Oh my goodness. This says life too. What are the chances that that's the one that's on top? Wow. You could put with it, I have all these sewing charms. I have sewing charms coming out my ears. I bought a big package of them at one time. What else do I have in here? Could hang a bead with it. I don't know why that's in there. But you could even punch a hole in like a sewing threader. What do you call these things? Threaders. But anything, metal charms, you could put two together. You could put, if I wanted to, I could put another one like this with it. This is just made from a different size circle punch. And I just put it, I inked around the outside with some blue ink and plopped a butterfly on there. So the possibilities are endless. This is just kind of a good first step into how to make some charms to get you going. And this other one, I put liquid pearls on it. I'm going to put some liquid pearls on here too, I think. Oh yeah. So there we go. That's going to be cute when it dries. So just get out your things. If you have different shapes, cut out different shapes and or punch out different shapes and just have at it. Now, if you would like to learn how to make more of the chunkier tassel charms, let me know in the comments box below, and I'll be happy to do a video on that as well. So I've enjoyed spending the time with you. I thank you for all the new subscribers who have been joining the Junk Journal Gems channel. I so appreciate having you in our group. Thanks for following. Hit the thumbs up. Keep following along. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time on Junk Journal Gems.